Good morning, dear students. Today in English, we are going to learn a new lesson, lesson 29, Androcles and the Lion. Long, long ago, there lived a kind, gentle, and courteous man called Androcles. But he had a very cruel master. This Androcles was very kind, gentle, and polite, but his master was cruel. Cruel means bad. In those days, kings, nobles, and other wealthy men used poor people as their slaves. Slaves means servants. Androcles was also a servant. Androcles was a slave. The slaves were forced to work for their master. They had to do what their masters told them. They had no freedom, no rights. Even when they were unhappy with their master, they could not leave him. They were bounded by law to obey their master, however wicked he might be. Wicked means bad. However bad the master treated their slaves, the servants, they had to be with them. Androcles did not like his wicked master. His master starved his slaves and often whipped them. The master, did not give them anything to eat and also beat them with the whip. Androcles felt that even death was better than serving such a master. He kept looking out for a good opportunity. For what? What good opportunity he wanted? He wanted to run away. He wanted to escape. At the first chance he got, he escaped from the clutches of his cruel master. Clutches means grip. Now, although Androcles had thus run away, he was not a coward. Coward means he was not scared. He took shelter in a forest. He was not afraid of the wild beasts that roamed the forest. Wild beast means wild animals. He did not mind that he had no roof over his head. No roof over means he did not have a house to live in the forest. He was happy that he was free as a bird to go wherever he wished. Now he was free like a bird. He could roam anywhere he wanted. One day, as he was wandering in the forest, wandering means roaming in the forest, he suddenly came face to face with a lion. Face to face means he came in front of a lion. His first reaction was to turn and flee. Turn and flee means turn and run away. But then he saw that the lion had not moved on seeing him. Now the lion had seen that there was a person standing. The lion did not come running. He did not move. It neither growled nor roared. In fact, it looked at him piteously as if it was in great pain. Piteously means he felt very sorry, as if he was in great pain, something had happened to him. Androcles paused. Then he moved very cautiously towards the lion step by step. Cautiously means very carefully, because he knew one wrong step and he would be the lunch for the wild beast. The lion moaned and whimpered. Whimpered means made unhappy sound. Please help me, its eyes seemed to say. What did his eyes say? That please help me. When Androcles drew near, the lion lowered its head and began to lick its paw. Paw means his leg. Then Androcles saw that the lion's paw was wounded, sown, and swollen. That something is wrong. Androcles came to know that something is wrong with the lion's paw. On a closer look, Androcles noticed that a big thorn had pierced one of the lion's toe. Pierced means there was a thorn that was pricking, that was irritating, and that was hurting that lion's paw. So this is the cause of the lion's distress, thought Androcles. Distress means that is why that lion was restless, because the paw was hurting because of the thorn. Let's see what happens next. Summoning up all his courage, Androcles stretched his hand slowly towards the injured paw. Summoning up all the courage means making brave efforts. He could not directly go and touch the lion's feet, no? Lion's paw. What would happen if he would directly go and touch the paw? The lion would get irritated and he would eat that Androcles. So slowly, bravely making efforts. He was afraid that the lion would attack him if he touched its swollen paw. But the lion seems to understand his good intention. The lion came to know that Androcles is not going to hurt him. Instead, he is going to treat his paw. Androcles took the paw in his left hand. Deftly means quickly. He pulled out the thorn. Then tearing a piece of his own clothing, tearing one of the piece of his own cloth, the kind man bounded up the lion's injured paw. To his surprise and wonder, the lion then licked his arm as if to show gratitude. Gratitude means to say thank you. Androcles remained with the lion till it could walk again. He would hunt in the forest and share his food with the helpless beast. Every day he would clean and dress the lion's wound. Soon the lion was able to move about. Many times it followed Androcles wherever he went. In the meanwhile, Androcles' master had complained to the authorities that his servant Androcles had run away. Soldiers were sent in all directions to capture Androcles. They searched for him high and low but couldn't find him. At last they came to the forest where Androcles lived. Now that Androcles' cruel master, he had already complained to the authorities that one of my slave had run away. And then soldiers were sent in all the directions to search, but they could not find him. At last they came to the forest where Androcles lived. It so happened that Androcles had gone out alone that day while the lion rested near the cave. Both of them fell into the hands of the soldiers. Now Androcles had gone hunting alone without the lion, and the lion was resting near the cave. Suddenly what happened? As soon as the soldiers came, both were in the hands of the soldiers. The soldiers took them back to the city. They put Androcles in chains in a prison. The lion was caged. Androcles was put behind the bars and the lion was put into the cage. In those days, people who were found to be guilty of a serious crime were fed to wild beasts. Fed means they were thrown in front of the wild beasts, wild animals, and they would eat them as punishment. Running away from one's master was a very serious crime at that time. Therefore, Androcles too was to be thrown to the wild beast. On the appointed day means when Androcles was supposed to be thrown in front of the wild beast, that day came. The emperor arrived at the circus and took his place. Emperor means king. He arrived at the circus and took his place. He sat on his throne. The crowd cheered loudly. The trumpeters blew the trumpet and Androcles was brought into the arena. Arena means a place where sports or other public events are held. His chains were unbounded. Unbounded means removed. He felt weak and dismayed. Dismayed means worried. Naturally, he'll be worried because he thought that this will be the last day of my life. A wild beast, a wild animal is going to eat me up. He was certain that this was the last day of his life. At the opposite end, a gate was raised and a furious lion was released into the arena. Now, at the opposite end, what happened? A ferocious lion was released. It had been kept hungry to make it more ferocious. They didn't give anything for the lion to eat for many days. Androcles was filled with fear. Now Androcles got very scared, but he put up a brave front. But he had to face that. The lion saw Androcles and rushed towards him, bounding and roaring. But suddenly it stopped in its track. Suddenly the lion stopped. Then it moved slowly forward. All its rate seems to have melted. Androcles saw this too. Each friend recognized the other. As both were looking at each other, they recognized each other. To everyone's amazement, the lion bounded towards Androcles again. But when it reached him, it began to furr and rub its nose against him. Androcles hugged the lion and he wept with relief of joy. Wept means cried in relief of joy. Why? Why did they do so? Because the lion was helped when his paw was injured. Androcles helped the lion. So did the lion forget? No, he directly as he saw Androcles, he recognized him. The audience, including the emperor, watched this tender sight in great wonder. People began to cheer Androcles and asked for his release. Now what happened? Everybody was watching that how that lion and the man there, that is Androcles, was the behavior of both of them. They were looking and they were wondering, what a good sight. The emperor asked Androcles to explain the lion's strange behavior. Now the emperor is asking Androcles, how is this possible? How did that lion didn't eat you? What happened exactly? Then when he heard the whole story, the emperor was also moved by the gratitude and friendship between man and beast. He ordered that Androcles should be set free. He would no longer be a slave. Now what did the emperor order? That Androcles should be set free. Now he is not going to be a servant or a slave. When the emperor asked Androcles what other reward he would like, Androcles replied that he did not want anything for himself, but he wanted the lion to be set free too. Now what did Androcles want? Androcles want that the lion should be set free. He should be set free in the forest. The two friends went back to the forest to live a free life. Thank you.